Hey there, today I'm talking to you about funny money. What do I mean by funny money? Well, you do realize that money actually isn't a real thing. Although we think it's real and we put a lot of importance and value on money, the truth is the only thing that makes money real is your belief in that money. So today we are talking about the fake money system. And if you are experiencing financial struggle, then you are actually being held hostage by a lie, by something that's fake, by something that doesn't really exist except as a construct. So, how is this a thing? I'm going to explain to you what I'm talking about in this video today. I'm Marguerita, conscious mindset coach, business strategist, and lightworker from Pitbull Coaching, and founder and creator of the Wealth Consciousness Movement and the Conscious Wealth Revolution. Now, back in 1976, before that, we had something called the gold standard, whereby our currency was backed by gold or by precious metals. Now, what happened in 1976 was that gold standard was taken away. They actually removed the connection between the currency and the gold or the precious metals, and then it became backed by nothing. It's what's called fiat currency. It only exists, and the only value that it has is the belief that the public actually put in the currency. And what happens is, because of fiscal policy and the way inflation works, which is all very complex, don't ask me to explain it because I actually don't really understand it. I'm not economically minded, but you don't need to be to understand the basics. So there's all this debt that accrues because of government bonds and lending, and you realize that the Federal Reserve of the United States is not actually a part of the government. It is actually a privately owned entity. That's correct. They called it the Federal Reserve to be to actually hoodwink the general public into thinking that, oh, well, the government's taking care of that. No, 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 no. This is why there is $35 trillion of debt in the United States at this point, and it is growing massively day by day. So do you realize, to give you a little context, that a million seconds is about 12 days? A billion seconds is about 32 years. A trillion seconds is just about 32,000 years. That's right. So when you put that into the context of a debt of the US of $35 trillion that is exploding by billions every day, who does the United States owe that debt to? Great question, huh? So you can see that, and what they keep doing is they just keep printing money and printing money and printing money because they don't have enough money. So they don't have enough money to keep up all the expenses of a massive machine like the United States government. And this isn't just the United States government. It's just that the United States government is the beast because it has the petrodollar. It's kind of been it has been the go-to currency for the world until recently, when various nations are starting to come together into the BRICS nations, and they're actually going to work together in a whole different system, which is a big threat to the United States currency and the United States economy. So this kind of system is literally, it's just built on a knife edge, and at some point it's going to fall off a cliff. Every single fiat currency ends up just completely bottoming out and disappearing virtually. And it takes a certain number of economic conditions to make that happen. And quite frankly, right now, I'm surprised that it hasn't already fallen off a cliff. But the way the United States and the Federal Reserve has continued this funny money going, has continued this system, is by continuing to print more money. But the more money they print, the less value that you have in the dollar, which decreases the value of the money that you have. So for instance, $100 today isn't worth the same $100 tomorrow. It's less. $100 today isn't worth, $100 in 10 years time. It'll be worth like $50, the same amount of money. So the system is doomed to fail. It is inevitable that at some point the fiat currency will fail. With a little bit of luck, we might actually have a government who can transition to a new currency, and hopefully that isn't a central bank digital currency, which means that if everything is centrally controlled by the government, then you are centrally controlled by the government. Think about it. So, your behaviors, anything you share on social media, it all becomes under the control of the government, because they can say, oh, we don't like what you're doing. We'll just cut off access to your CBDCs. But there are other blockchain currencies that are emerging. Now, I know nothing about blockchain currencies, so if you're investing in those, then I hope you know what you're doing. It's really important that you know what you're investing in, how it works. I know that there have been some Ponzi schemes that have been out there that people have lost many, 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 many thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. If you remember the debacle around FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, there is a whole lot of funny business that went on there. And we still don't really know whether he was a government plant to bring in more rules and regulations around cryptocurrency and blockchain currency. So there's a whole lot of games being played out there. So know what you're doing before you invest in anything. Personally, I really like precious metals, commodities, things like that, because you know what? Gold and silver, they have always increased in value over time. So always do your due diligence. I'm not giving you advice. I'm just saying that these are the kinds of things that I think are really solid investments for me personally. So check those out for yourself. So coming back to funny money. Now, the whole world, or 95% of the world, is stuck in a state of a lack and poverty consciousness. And this is by design. And it's actually just because we don't understand, most of us don't understand the financial system and how it works. Why do the rich keep getting richer? Several reasons. One, they have a rich and wealth consciousness. They have a prosperity consciousness. If you have a prosperity consciousness, you will always be prosperous. They understand how the money system works. So they make money work for them, and they use the current monetary system to build wealth. They have a frequency and vibration that attracts more money. Those who are stuck in struggle street, they have a lack and poverty consciousness. It's not your fault. It's been indoctrinated into the vast majority of the population for the reason that when we're in a state of desperation, or when we're struggling financially, when we're in debt, we are easy to control because we're in a state of stress, fear, and anxiety. We are beholden to the money masters, the people who rule the game, the overlords, and they can pull the strings because they are constantly ruling us with a state of fear. Oh, well, if you don't pay your mortgage, we'll just take your house off you. And we'll just keep bumping up interest rates whenever we feel like it to make it harder, keep you in more debt. So, the system is it's so corrupt, and it is so stacked against the masses, the general population. You have been co-opted unwittingly into a system that doesn't care about you. It only cares about controlling you. It cares about the power that it has over you. So it's time to break free from the system. In order to break free from the system, you need to understand monetary policy. You need to understand the way the system works. You need to understand how to work the system. So rich and wealthy people know how to do three things. They know how to make money. They know how to keep money. They know how to grow money. You realize if you know how to make money, the number one thing, if you are good at making money, will you ever be afraid of losing money ever again? If you are confident in your ability to make money, then the prospect of losing money is not such a big deal, is it? But we make it a big deal and we're afraid to take risk, because if we lose it, then we're like, oh my God, it's never coming back. But you know what? Money is changing hands. Trillions of dollars is changing hands every day. Money is not static. It doesn't just land in a place and stay there. It is constantly being exchanged and being funneled into different places. You buy goods and services, you get paid for goods and services that you provide, or you're working for somebody and they pay you for your time. And the more money you make, the more money you spend, or the more money hopefully you invest. So you've got to learn how the monetary system works. But I'm going to come back to this, and I'm going to speak about this for a couple of minutes because it's super important. When you realize that if you're struggling financially, if you have stress and anxiety around money, that you have allowed yourself to be held hostage to a system of fake money, of something that actually isn't real, then you start to think, well, wait a minute, it's just numbers on a screen. Money these days is just numbers on a screen. The bills that you have piling up, they are just numbers on a piece of paper. So it is rewiring your brain and actually transforming your thinking around money and seeing it as a commodity, as a tool, as a resource to be used, and not something that you are a captive of. Because rich and wealthy people, what do? They make money work for them. They don't work for money. But within our education system and our lack of education about money and how it works and how we can actually be the masters of money ourselves, instead, we are indoctrinated into being the slave to money. And money is a very cruel slave. We are indoctrinated into being slaves to the system. The education system has been deliberately constructed to do that. Now, there is a book, The Creature of Jekyll Island. I highly recommend it. It's a very long book, but it will explain a lot of this to you. And when you start to deconstruct your beliefs around money, deconstruct the way you perceive the money, the way you work with money, and you construct positive beliefs, positive strategies, when you understand the monetary system, you change your money game entirely. So you can play to win or you can play to lose. And at the moment, the vast majority of people are playing to lose because they don't understand that there are other rules that they can play by. We can all play by the same rules of the rich and the wealthy, but you have to understand what they are first. So educate yourself about the monetary system and stop making money such a big deal, right? Take control over your mental and emotional state around money. And you know that my favorite tool for that is EFT tapping. So that is to release your limiting beliefs around money, your limiting beliefs around wealthy people, your limiting beliefs around yourself and your self-worth around money. This thing up here, it's an amazing computer. And when it's wired positively to get the results that you want and with supportive beliefs, it is just a game changer. It's like your wealth and success is inevitable. But when it's wired with destructive, limiting beliefs that stop you from being your best self, that sabotage your efforts and cause you to procrastinate and make wrong decisions and not make decisions at all, and you feel a state of overwhelm or disempowerment, or you're at the mercy of the beast. Because look, all these systems that are being constructed, and they are all interconnected, the education system, the so-called health system, the financial system, the governmental systems, all of them are actually constructed and integrated far more than you realize. And the overarching system is the enslavement system. Seriously. So, but lots more people are starting to wake up to the lies, to the deception, to the corruption, and to the way that we have been sucked into this big black hole that keeps us stuck in a state of disempowerment. Enough. Decide right now you are no longer going to be at the mercy of the beast, that you are going to take your control back, that you are going to do whatever you need to do to learn about the financial system, to construct a way that you can make money doing something that you love, something that feeds your soul. And I recommend entrepreneurship. I mean, it is the fastest and most effective way to build wealth. Doing something that you love, doing something that feeds your soul. You can go from zero to hero really, really quickly when you have the right systems, the right strategies, the right formulas, when everything's set up right with the right vehicle, the right mindset. An unstoppable mindset is key. And look, I share all of that in my Wildly Wealthy workshop, which is totally free. So you can go and register. I share all of that and so much more in that workshop. It is going to really set you up for massive success financially, and to be able to start to build your wealth empire and to be wildly wealthy. So if that's something you're interested in, then go and register at the address that is on your screen, and become a part of my community. It's going to be absolutely awesome and lots of fun. So what I'm going to leave you with today is start really embracing the fact that money isn't real. It's fiat currency. And if you are struggling financially, then you really need to rewire this. You need to uncover and discover what are your fears, doubts, blocks, and limiting beliefs around money, around wealthy people, around your self-worth. A big thing that stops people from being successful is their self-belief, their self-worth, their self-confidence, and their self-love. They are 4 critical factors that can really hold you back if you are stuck in a state of not feeling good enough. Okay, so start to work on this, because it is the internal work that changes your external world. Your internal world determines your external world. It is all an inside job. So start going inside, start doing that work, because once you change your mindset and your frequency and vibration, guess what? You can be rich too. Seriously. The rich get richer because of their mindset, their understanding of the financial system, and because of their frequency and vibration. That is the way the entire system works. And fortunately, we are starting to see a massive shift in consciousness on this planet right now that is turning the tables, or will eventually turn the tables, on the overlords who have basically rigged the system. I mean, the system is totally rigged at this point in time. But the system works if you work the system, but you need to understand it. You need to take back your power. Okay, so I hope all of that has been helpful. If it has, then like and subscribe, comment below. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is, how this has helped you. What is your dream? Get really, really clear on what it is that you want to create, because you are an infinitely powerful being. You are capable of creating and achieving anything that you put your mind to. But you've got to get clear on what it is that you want to achieve, on the life that you want to create and the life that you want to live. That is absolutely imperative. And then work on your mindset and the systems and the strategies that you are going to use to be wildly wealthy and build your wealth and success. So that's it for my video for today. I do hope you've enjoyed this. I will look forward to seeing you in another video very soon, and hopefully in my Wildly Wealthy workshop. Ciao for now.